What's up, you guys? All right, well, here we are. It is the 14th consecutive green day, and a little bit like yesterday, a bit of a choppy day. First trade out of the gates, I went red. I don't think that happened yesterday, but I definitely had a good sized loss yesterday on ABCT. And that loss, now that I've imported those trades, hurt my metrics a little bit. My average losers are now a bit higher because of it. And well, it's gonna happen again today because on WATT, I took a loss right out of the gates, and so that's unfortunate. It happens, but it is a little disappointing. It ended up dropping, well, from about 278, 280 down to 245, and then ripping up to 330 and getting halted on a circuit breaker. Unreal. The price action was ridiculous, and then in the late part of the morning, it ended up pulling back and then squeezing up to $4. It was like this was a stock that wanted to shake people out, trap short sellers, and then rip faces off. So I didn't do super well on it, but had a couple others that I nailed. So hey, green is good. 14th consecutive green day and about $2,000 of profit. It's not a home run, but it's a solid base hit. 2,000 a day. There's 250 trading days in the year, so that has me lined up for a $500,000 year if I can keep it up. So that's the big if. But right now, April is feeling good, and I'm gonna try to keep just this momentum going. I'm gonna put a link in the description for our day trading page, a new page that we just put on our website, which you guys might like to check out, warriortrading.com/day trading. It's a kind of like it's a guide. It's a little different from the beginner's getting started kit, but it's a guide that walks you through a lot of the important terminology that you need to know when you're getting started. So check that out, and you'll see a link in the sidebar to register to one of my upcoming classes, which you should do if you haven't done already. All right, so that's it from me. Enjoy the recap. As always, questions, comments, leave them below, and give me that thumbs up and hit that subscribe button, because tomorrow morning, as always, 9:15, I will be live streaming my watch list. WATT, although it wasn't a big winner, it was right off the watch list, and it was definitely volatile, and it was the one that you wanted to be watching. So that's it for me. I'll see you guys tomorrow. All right, everyone. So we're going to do our recap here. Hey, Brandon, nice job. Brandon in the Warrior Pro Room saying he's on his 18th green day. That's awesome, dude. Good job. Well, I'm going to finish here on my 14th green day, which is, not as good as Brandon. But it's something, I guess. A little consolation prize, 14 days. I'm hanging in there. So today I traded 3 stocks, and I am green on 2 out of the 3, but Watt, W-A-T-T, is my nemesis today. Man, I am so frustrated. And that's a good indicator to step back and stop trading. So we'll talk about Watt first. I know I'm red on it. There's no way I'm green. I know that for a fact. I had some green trades on it, but I also certainly had some red trades. BNTC, I got a partial fill on. So this one ended up being a small trade, a winner, but a very small trade. And PECK was okay, but a little choppy and not picture perfect. So let's see where I'm at today. Definitely a green day because I know I did well on PECK. So how much did I make on PECK and how much did I lose on WATT? The big reveal. A $2,000 day. Not bad. Not bad. 2,900 on PECK, down 1,100 on Watt. So frustrated with Watt. So let's start by reviewing Watt. WATT. This was on the gap scanner this morning, gapping up 162%. Not bad, right? It's pretty impressive. And these are my stats through yesterday. Okay, so what we're doing right now is I review my stats up through the previous day because I can't import today's trades until they, settle with the broker or whatever it is. So I can import today's trades tomorrow. So right now, this is up through yesterday, yesterday being a nice green day. And the P&L As of that time, my profit loss ratio dipped a little bit because I did have a bigger loss yesterday on AVCT of about 2,100. So my profit loss ratio did go down. Well, the average losers went up, so the ratio is not as good. But 74% accuracy is not bad. So $45,000 gross profit on the month. And what? You son of a gun. Look at that thing. Ugh, so frustrating. And this is not a good place to be if you're still trading. If you're trading with that level of frustration, that's when I start saying, you know what? Screw it. I'm going in this thing with 20,000 shares. And that's when you start getting emotionally fueled, it's almost impossible to see things really clearly for what they are. This stock, I had actually my last trade on it. I bought right down here. I bought it as it came back down and bounced kind of off this 320 spot at about 326. And I added at 336 for the break over 338. I stopped out right here. This is what happened not 5 minutes later. It broke 330 and squeezed up to $4. What a slap in the face. Unreal. Just unreal. And you know what? I had done something similar right here where I got in for the break of 45 and stopped out right here. And in fact, my first trade out of the gates, I was long right here for the break of 270 and stopped out. But then I got back in right here at 3 and went into a halt. So my first trade on it definitely was a loss. My second trade, I know I made back the full loss. This was a nice trade. But then, so this was, let's do the trades. Red, green, red, let's see, small green on the break of 320, and then red right here. And then I didn't trade it through here because I was so angry and frustrated. I was like, I can't possibly, I just can't do it. And I knew I was red and I wanted to retain, the green streak, which again, to Anna's credit yesterday or the day before in the comments, sometimes when you are on a streak like this, you start adapting your trading to maintain the streak. Which can be a little bit of a problem. And ultimately, the best thing is just to be totally centered and to release yourself from the pressure of having to be green and, even thinking about it. But it's really difficult to do that while at the same time doing a daily recap every single day and showing you guys where I sit on the month. It's hard to not be connected to where I sit. So that's an exercise for me to, I suppose, work on. But in any case, I'm frustrated with Watt. I had a lot of the right ideas, but got chopped out with, I guess, wrong timing. And it's a little frustrating, and back here, the breakthrough 4, a false breakout and back down to 360. So, I don't know. I'll just let it be what it is, which is a stock that whipped me around and chopped me out a little bit, and I will just live to trade another day. And you know what? Hey, I'm green. So there's worse things than getting chopped out. And ultimately, although I did have one good size loss on it, I also had a couple of good size winners on it. So, I'll just let it be. The 242 on BNTC, I tried to get long on the break of the bull flag right here. I only got a partial fill. I got like 240 shares, so I didn't even call that out. It ended up being a really nice breakout there, obviously. But I was trying to take 500. I got a partial fill, and I was just like, whatever. It's too thinly traded to get a full fill, so I'm just going to leave it alone. So $240 on that. And then PECK saved the day. There was always one that saves the day. And I said today that as I was going through the gap scanner, I was looking for love. And I didn't see it on Watt. WATT, I knew at the open that it was going to be a little trickier. It already had 10 million shares of volume. It is a 28 million share float. It's actually, I think, 32 million shares. The price is okay, but I just wasn't sure it was going to be easy. And sure enough, it faked me out on my very first trade, getting long for the break of the pre-market pivot. So I was in at 75. It hit a high of 80, dropped down to 45, then pops back up. I got back in for the break over 80, red to green move. Not the best entry, but it worked as it surged up to 330 and then again started chopping around before finally opening up here, but not after first faking me out. So I think that this was kind of the thing with this one, is that it did these fake outs, which probably convinced people to go short and stopped out long traders, and then it whipped back up. So then short sellers stop out, long traders jump in, and you get that surge of volume. And then it does it again, and then so it has to shake people out, trap people before it opens up. And that may be the only way a stock of this float and with this much volume can really make big moves, by first shaking people out, trapping short sellers, and then ripping. So, but I came in this morning with the mindset of, yesterday was a little bit of a close call on one trade on CYCC. I better take it a little easy today. And so, as I had my first trade on Watt that went red, I was like, all right, well, that's not great, but it's not a big deal to start the day red. I'm 3 minutes into the day. Let's just, I really wasn't that fueled or upset about that. I was a little annoyed it did a false breakout because I had the right idea but the wrong timing, but I wasn't really fired up. I didn't get fired up until it broke right here. This was when I was, this first one, I was like, man, okay, well, sometimes they're like that at the open. But this one really, really, really got to me. So good to be able to step back and get out. And, it's one of these things I go outside and I don't know if you guys can really, looks like I'm caught up on something back here. Oh, yeah, I'm caught up on that. But in any case, those of you guys, you can see, I don't know if you can see out my window, but I've got my window here, so, I like to just kind of look out, and I've got some chipmunks that are running around over there, and they're going back and forth between there, and it's just kind of a, I look outside, and I'm like, all right, just take a breath. It's good. It's cool. You're fine. You'll get this. You'll have another day where it comes together, and sometimes just getting outside and stepping out is just a great way to kind of get away from the computer and just get centered. So anyways, so that was Watt. PECK, not on the gap scanner. Oh, actually, it was. I didn't notice it though. It was must have been a very light volume gapper, gapping up 17%. I heard some people mention that it had news, and I didn't see any news, so I was a little skeptical on that. It first popped up here from about 360 to 4. I then said, guys, I like this thing over 450. So let's back this up. 450, I like to show you this quick time frame just so you can kind of see what I was looking at. That was an entry right here. I actually tried to take it, $50 entry. Someone asked about that. There you go. Sorry. Someone asked about the $50 entry. And so yeah, on this one, I went for the $50 entry, 450. And as it turned out, I did not get filled. It ripped right to 80, and I was like, man, bummer. Okay, no fill. I'll wait for the first pullback. And I got long at 80, and I was adding at 90 and at $5. So I bought this as it was squeezing up. It squeezed up to a halt right here, 521. It was halted. It then opened and tapped a high of 607. Wow. Okay, impressive. I actually added on resumption at 567, and my best exit on this was, let's see, it was right around 6, maybe 590 or something like that. But in any case, so I had a nice trade on this one. It pulled back. I got back in as it came back up for a breakthrough the VWAP. And, you'd think I'd have been able to make a little bit more on it than I did. But, because I was sort of getting in high, I was quick to take some profit off the table. before it got halted. It got halted. I added out of the halt, but added at 67. Again, had to be quick to take profit. We had this little pullback right here, 65, and that breakthrough VWAP that gave a 30-cent breakout. Not bad. And then a micro pullback up in this area for the break of 5. So, a couple nice trades on it, but whippy, was lacking that news catalyst that I really wanted to see. And so unfortunately, I just didn't feel incredibly comfortable on it. And then of course we had the small partial fill on BNTC. So yeah, I don't know, kind of an interesting day, a green day, which is great. And certainly live to trade another day and hope that we have something that maybe holds up a little bit better. Yesterday we had BNTC in the late morning. It was late morning that we had this really nice trade here from. Sorry. Well, that was fine, I guess. But I was really meaning yesterday. This right here, this thing squeezed from $8 to $15, and then it dropped all the way back down to 11, only to come back up to 16. Crazy momentum. Really impressive. Those of you guys, by the way, who haven't already checked out this blog post, this I've been working on here for a while. I mean, this is ultimately the culmination of quite a long period of building out content and stuff like that. So a couple of videos embedded, but those that are on the YouTube channel or Facebook and haven't gotten into our classes yet, you're welcome to check out this page. I do think you'll learn a bit, and you can click on this button right here to register to one of my free classes, which is a sort of long 2.5 hour long workshop with Q&A and everything else. So I host those on a pretty regular basis, and you can just click through and check out all these different tabs. We were pretty excited to finally get this dialed in. I think it looks pretty sweet. So hopefully you guys on YouTube and Facebook check that out. You guys in the chat room, you're welcome to check it out just for the heck of it. It's not anything you're not already going to be learning because you're in the classes, but feel free to check it out and share it with a friend who's like, hey, how does day trading work? warriortrading.com/day trading. Let's see. All right. Let's see. So what I'm going to do now, I think I'm going to switch gears and do some Q&A with my Warrior Pro students. So let's do some Q&A. Maybe I'll answer 2 questions while we're still doing the recap, and then I'll shut off the recap, get that uploaded to YouTube, and we'll do probably another hour or so, maybe hour and a half of Q&A with you guys. All right. So let's see. Q&A. So first question here, and I'm just going to start right here at 11:09. So when you go long stocks with large spreads, do you anticipate profit per share bigger than the spread? That's an interesting question. So for instance, a spread like a BNTC of 50 cents, yes, I would have to expect at least a profit of 50 cents to overcome this spread. Now, when I got in, the spread was actually pretty tight. It was like, I don't know, 13.80 by 14, 17 cents, and I ended up making on 200 shares $1 a share, roughly, scaling out. So yeah, definitely I look for bigger gains when you've got bigger spreads. You have to, just to overcome the spread. On a stock like Watt that has a tighter spread, I don't use that type of calculation of it's a 1 cent spread, I should make at least 1 cent a share, because that's not worth it. I am more inclined to say that I want to see. Still, generally, I would say back of mind target would be like 10%. That this stock I could get 30 cents on, back of mind would be awesome. On BNTC, that would be $1.30, $1.40. Getting 10% on a day trade is fantastic. Now, sometimes I even get more than that, especially on the lower price stocks. But sometimes you get less. PECK, the initial entry on this was at $4.80. It ended up hitting a high of $6. So, the quick math at 480 to 48 cents is 10%. and it went up, 20%. So sometimes you can really do that with these lower price stocks, which means if you're aggressive, you could potentially be growing your account, anywhere from 3, 4, 5, maybe even 10% a day, which is crazy, but can be done if you, are using your whole account and being aggressive, which you shouldn't do if you don't already have experience trading in the simulator. So thank you for that. That was a good question. And Sean says, my stop loss hotkey is at 1% of average price, but sometimes it won't stop you out. Sometimes it stops you out instantly. So let me pop up our simulator. So the simulator that all of you guys are using, of course, is provided by Sterling. Go on, girl. So Sterling Trading Tech, we've got a license agreement with them for the sim for you guys. So Warrior Sim. All right, so you can set up different types of stops. I wouldn't use a percentage. I've never used a percentage-based stop. When I have used stops, and you guys have all of my hotkeys preloaded in the sim. So this is all Warrior Starter and Warrior Pro students have this as part of your subscription. So Control S is my stop. So Control S, this is a stop 25 cents below my average price. And I could create different stops, 25 cents, 30 cents, 40 cents. I could just change this with the up and down arrow. But cents makes a lot more sense to me than percentage because 5% on a $3 stock, all right, that's 15 cents. That might work. But 5% on a $1 stock is probably going to be way too tight. And 1% is unreasonable, in my opinion, on these low price stocks. You're just going to get stopped out instantly. So make sure you've got your hotkeys set up correctly. They really shouldn't ever not execute unless there's some issue, but what might happen is they execute instantly. So, all right, so 2 good questions there. So I'm gonna shut off this feed on for YouTube, Facebook folks, and we'll keep doing Q&A here in the room. Everyone watching on YouTube, Facebook, come back and watch the pre-market analysis tomorrow morning, and of course tomorrow's recap as well. All right, see you guys soon. Hey, it's me again. The most popular video on day trading on YouTube was made by me. You can check it out below if you haven't already. And as always, if you have questions, leave them in the comments. I personally respond to every question that's posted on my channel.